Hello everyone, Lisa here. Welcome to What's Crafting Wednesday. Let's just jump right in and get started with the drawing for the two easel cards from last week. Nice seashell easel cards. And I'll just get my tickets in here. And as always, I'll give them a nice shake. Bit more. Okay, and let me get a ticket out here. And we have Wendy. Well, congratulations, Wendy. Thank you everyone for visiting me and commenting. And Wendy, I'll get these off to you. Okay, today we are doing a very quick, easy peasy masculine card. And I'm again combining some retiring and some new products. We'll be using the Quite Curvy bundle, the dies, and the stamp set. And the new In the Wild DSP. Now, I had started making this card. I had it as a masculine card in mind, and then when I was finished I thought it could also be used for a boy, not just a man, so I think it could be used for either. So we are letting the DSP do the work for us today. We have a very vanilla envelope and crushed curry cardstock, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. And as you know, we will score this at 5 1/2. Haven't used crushed curry in a while. It is a color I do like. And for the inside of the card, I have a piece of very vanilla, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then for the front of the, oh, and also for the inside of the card, I cut a curvy piece. And for the front of the card, I have Evening Evergreen, and this is cut at 4 by 4 1/4. And I have 3 strips of DSP, and these are 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. And Evening Evergreen Ink, and the Quite Curvy stamp set. So let's get started. Now you want to make sure that you have your Evening Evergreen on the 4-inch width, and you want to make sure that your pieces of cut DSP are in the right order. I can see now that they are not. Let me see. Move these around here. That one goes there, and then this one goes over there. Yes, you want to make sure they're in the right order before you put your scene together. And of course, line them up first so that you have the right spacing before you start adhering. Well, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to glue left, right, and then center, just to make sure I keep the spacing somewhat even. So has anyone gotten this new In the Wild DSP yet? I did not get the bundle that goes with it, but I did get the DSP. And some of the patterns are quite cute. I thought this one was darling. And on each side you have the animal scene, and on the flip sides they're leaves, and they are animal prints. Okay, it looks straight, and then we have our last one here. Okay, now how easy is that? And then we're going to adhere it on the front, and then we're going to stamp. But just to make sure, don't make a mistake with my stamping. Let's stamp before we adhere. So I'm using the Curvy Hooray for You. And when you stamp on cardstock, rather than the basic white or the very vanilla, you want to make sure you do ink your stamp good, because when you stamp on cardstock, you get a different image than on the smooth, very vanilla or whisper white. This absorbs the ink more, so you want to make sure that you have good coverage on your stamp. Okay, perfect. Because the basic white and the very vanilla, they have a coating on them. It's very smooth, and it is good for stamping. It doesn't, the ink doesn't bleed into the paper. That's why you can't watercolor on whisper white or very vanilla. And there is the front of our card. And now for the inside, I didn't even show it to you yet. I cut a piece of Evening Evergreen with the Curvy die, and then I used the sentiment, and rather than stamping it in the center, I stamped it along the curve for something a little different. So just get some glue on here, and just very little along the top here, because otherwise it will seep out and make a mess. And just make sure it butts up against the bottom. And I did get a little seeping out there. Okay, so I'll have some sticky fingers. And then the wishing you the happiest of birthdays. And then just put it along here. Okay. And we're going to adhere it to the inside of the card. So, has everyone had a crafty week since last week? Love to know what you have been making. If you've been making cards or projects, scrapbook pages, and whatever you're making, don't forget to share what you stamp with me. And now for the envelope. I think we're done with the glue. And I stamped the array of leaves on the back. Now you could color these in, but since this is a quick and easy peasy card, I just stamped them and I'm gonna leave them the way they are. Now this is a large image, so when you stamp a large image, you can either take your ink pad and stamp this way, or you can still ink it up the usual way, but just make sure you get coverage on the entire stamp. And make sure you have your stamp in the right direction. Okay. And I just stamp them just straight in the middle of the envelope flap. And voila, a finished card. Now how easy peasy was that? I don't even know which one was the one that I made now and which was my sample. I think the leaves look pretty across the back of the flap. You could also stamp some right in the corner of the front. And again, there's the inside of the card and the front of the card. So tell me, would you use this card for a man or for a child, a young adult. Again, I think it could be for either. It just has that masculine look to it. Okay, everyone, so leave me your comments. Tell me what you think about tonight's card. If you like the DSP, if you have taken advantage of the sale on this Quite Curvy bundle, or if you already have the Quite Curvy bundle. Well, thank you for stopping by. I always enjoy you visiting with me on Wednesdays, and I look forward to reading your comments. Any questions, just go ahead and leave those as well, and I will get back to you. And I will see you again next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. What's Crafting Wednesday? Look forward to seeing you next week. I know it was quick today, but that's what this is, a quick card. And easy to replicate and mass produce. Okay, everyone, have a great week. Thank you again, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye. Happy crafting.